Hello, welcome back to BSLIVE. In this episode, I want to share with you some kind of a little project that I've been doing. It's basically this. So, what is this exactly? So the other day, I made this character, a very simple character, bread with simple eyes and mouth and eyebrows, just like a bread. And so I rigged the character. It's looking something like this, and the character have spring bones. So it's very simple. And so I'm thinking, okay, I want to control this using animation, so I can use my real-time setup. However, I'm actually using this. What you see at the background is probably something you have seen if you are on a Twitter. Is from the Bradley couple. So there's a Noah and Rachel. So I think this is Rachel. And if I hide my rig, oh, how to hide the rig? So basically, in the background, I should hide. Okay, I should go jump back into the camera. Okay, I think this is Rachel. So there is this animations. It's not a full body animations, just a very simple animated GIF. And I download it, and I'm using this as a reference for these animations. So what I did was simply tracking the head, kind of like in the simple and easy manners. Oh, wait a minute. How to hide this? So basically, that's the bone control, and I believe the spring bone is still running and following the keyframes. And so this is what I got. So tracking, manually tracking, and maybe tracing animation using grease pencil, perhaps, is actually a fun thing to do. You can actually track simple bones and just a simple, maybe just the arm, her arms, and around the chest area here, or just simply the head, and you can get a basic motion tracking if you don't have other tools like a 3D camera or things like that. So let's have a look how we can do this from scratch. So a good way to start is actually to use the 2D animations template. So you already provided with canvas, and you can start doodling using grease pencil. Okay, I just realized the performance is not great if I'm recording while doing this, but I'm gonna try anyway. So maybe I have to turn off this Safari so I have more power. Okay, not bad, but let's have a look anyway. So file, new 2D animation template, and then we need some kind of clips, and I have Rachel Bradley animation here. Just drag it, drop it here. Now we have the animations with the camera. If we go out the camera, we lost the reference. It is actually living inside the camera. So let's jump back to the camera and we can start doodling using grease pencil or using bones. If you wanna, I'll show you with the camera. There is this background image that you can turn on and off. So that's actually for the clips. Let me save this very quickly. So demo reference anim. So tracing and tracking, they're both different but similar thing, and it's not really an animations, but if you're starting to trace people and study the motions, you start to actually doing animations. So let's try. If I just I have to select the grease pencil stroke, of course, and then go into draw mode. Let me try maybe just tracking her head. It's a good idea maybe to draw the eyes and the mouth, but just do it like this for now. Now you might notice that nothing actually works at the moment. That's because it could be a bug, but anyway, in here we have to set it up, and just to match this number into the to the clip itself. So in this case we have like around 30 frames, make it 29. So now we can properly draw this. Is it moving? Start, maybe it should start at frame 1. Okay, so now this should be correct. Okay, save. Now depending on the motion, this one is actually super basics. Basically her head, if you look at it, is actually moving ups and down, kind of like a bouncing ball. So now it's a little bit lower, so go back to the stroke, edit mode, draw. So yeah, apparently for my MacBook, this kind of thing is it's pretty heavy. So we have 2 keyframe, and then she moves up again, and her head stays longer, so like a bouncing ball. We pick kind of like the extreme, because we don't, you can draw for every frame, but it's a good idea to pick just the extreme. So drawing, I found this, so I did actually trace the whole thing last night, and I'm using my iPad with a sidecar, but I quickly realized this is actually pretty tedious. And so I'm actually using Blender Bones instead of tracing the whole thing and have to draw the eyes and the mouth. That's kind of tedious, too tedious for me. I have a bit of 2D animation background, but I use computer graphics animations most of the time. So, and I read books like Thinking Animations, Bridging the Gap Between 2D and CG. I read about that book, and I like the idea of using both CGI and 2D to get where you want, like in terms of making animation. So in a way, I'm kind of working on that idea. And yeah, okay, I think that's pretty okay. So we should have a keyframe there, so the ball stays there. So it's almost like a bouncing ball. We could have drawn also the hands, and sometimes they're extreme, like there's like a squash and stretch also happening, and also we need to draw more precisely sometimes. So I found this tracing of animations based on the video is actually fun. However, it's also kind of tedious, but it also can be quite meditative. So it's totally up to you whether you like this way of animating. And this is actually pretty rough. If I actually turn this off, yeah, so we can see this animation of just based on the face reference from Rachel Bradley. So that's kind of okay. It's a good start, but like I said, it's kind of tedious. So maybe we can use Blender Bones. That's Blender Bones, right? We can put it anywhere. It's basically still in edit mode. You can actually put it on the center. If you go to the post bone, you can then start animating. And imagine this is like a head armature, and we want to kind of track her face. Okay, location, I make a keyframe, I tap I on the button, and location rotation scale is keyframe. Now I can track her face manually. So every keyframe, I can do it every keyframe, every 3 or 4 frames, or just do the extreme. Once again, it's a good idea to actually study the video a little bit and then actually keyframe based on the extreme. And here I'm just doing it roughly because I'm recording the video. With the rig, actually I only have the bones here. It's actually a good idea to have some kind of mesh that you parent. Maybe you can use Susan monkey head to get the head orientation right. But I guess this is a good it's a good and fun way to just practice the idea. Eventually I'll be showing you how to do this and to track the head using a different method. With a simple setup, you can actually track the head position using your smartphone or using like different method. Okay, apparently animating and talking, recording video is can be pretty challenging. So if you scrub and look at the animations, because this is a bone, you get interpolations automatically, so that's actually good. Yes, there's a subtle movement where her head is actually rotating and tilting, slightly tilting. But location and rotation, and in this case, because the reference animations is actually almost like a 2D, sometimes if the video is actually a character doing a motion or actions that's kind of zooming in, zooming out, it's gonna be a different things altogether. All right, so yeah, so we have an animations. We track the bones, and maybe we can hide it. Can hide the video now. Go back to object mode. Where's our armature? Okay, disappear. So maybe we can use, I don't want to use Susan head, but maybe I should. Maybe use a cube. So cube, scaled down. And the cube is at the center of the world, so I can just select the cube and select the armature, Control P, automatic wave. Now we have the cubes in motions. Gonna go to edit mode of the cube, not the bones, the cube, edit mode, move it up. So this is a cool thing about Blender. You can edit your mesh, and then the armature, everything's gonna actually still respect the change. Okay, let's do this. Turn on cavity so we can see the surface a little bit better. Use matcap. If you give it an eye, it's probably gonna be better. So yeah, let's actually give it eyes. Okay, so with the cube, I'm gonna turn off the armature. Okay, I'm gonna give it UV sphere as an eyeball. Can go to 3D. So it's kind of like a quickie job here. So every character needs an eyeballs. Make this smaller. So select both of these and then select the armature, Control P, automatic weight. Oops. Oh yeah. I need to Control A and apply the transform before I bind it into the joints. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the camera. So now we have an animation. So very quickly we have this. If the character, like I said, if moving in something that's a little bit more 3D, that's gonna be different things. And I haven't done full body yet, but I'm thinking to do a full body animations using this method. So yeah, there's a quick kind of introduction for tracing, or what you call it, like tracking, in manually tracing or tracking a human reference head. I suggest you to start with like just a second animations. Like in this case, it's like 30 frames per second. So yeah, thanks again for this clip by Rachel, Noah, and Noah Bradley. The Bradley couple, they provide reference for human body pose, and also in this case it's a video animation. I don't think they do a lot of video animations, but there are many sources on Twitter. There are actually like a couple of people doing reference animations on Twitter, and also with some dance animations. I will be doing that maybe in the next video. All right, so thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.